All right, guys, welcome back to another quick analysis video. Happy Tuesday. There's a couple things that I want to talk about, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So our weekly chart is getting pretty interesting here, and props to @bleeding_crypto. Make sure that you give him a follow for pointing this out on the weekly chart. So this is the first time that I'm really looking at it this week, and he is correct in the post that he made that this is indeed forming a 3-star doji pattern up here. So typically seeing this pattern at the top of a higher time frame trend signals some kind of incoming reversal or at least a stall in the trend. This is definitely something that I'm going to be watching. Now, I'm not saying that we nuke immediately or right away or anything crazy like that, since the week is not over yet, obviously. But just like I keep harping on this terrible state of our OBV down here, it definitely is a possibility, considering we're retesting a very major level bearishly right now. So moving on to this daily chart, literally nothing has changed here. So from here on out, the video might be a little short. We're still in this OBV range, okay? We've been here for 16 days now. It's getting very boring. It's getting very tiresome. We're also still flirting directly under a very important yearly support and resistance level, which I actually just depicted on that weekly time frame. So very important level of supply, and we're seeing consolidation directly underneath it. This is where I'm torn, and volume comes into high consideration here. Typically consolidating under resistance is bullish, but I'm a little less bullish in this particular instance because of how the OBV is just not budging. It's not showing any signs of accumulation. And our other indicators here, just our momentum is really low. Our volume per bar is really low. Our RSI is chopping sideways. So overall, when you see things like this, it's just not really looking super bullish to me here because we're not seeing those signs that you typically want to be seeing for a continued move to the top side. So this is a hard one to call on this time frame, and I'm going to need to see some more volume develop on these lower time frames before entering into any larger, longer term positions. So that brings us to this 4-hour chart, and oh, what do you know? Another range. So these yellow lines, they indicate the approximate levels of the support and resistance on this time frame. As you can see, it's just sideways chop, ping-ponging here back and forth between the lines. Now, I've personally made a pretty good deal of successful trades in this range over the last 2 weeks, but it's required a lot of patience and discipline. From here, I think as long as the lows at about 27.5 here hold, then we should be good for a move to break out. But again, even here, the volume is just really low. Our OBV still, kind of just looks like garbage here. It's just really, really sideways. And this goes for all of our indicators. They're pretty much just running flat. So sitting on your hands through this, honestly, wasn't really a bad move. And you probably outperformed some less experienced traders. So, I always harp on this. Remember, staying flat and not taking a position is also a position. And to be honest, it's usually better than just flipping a coin. So if we get that off the screen and we look at our volume profile, we still have those 2 naked points of control below us at 27K and 26.5. That's really all there is to look at here. Typically, I would go into some more detail if we had some untouched levels above us, but we just don't have that right now because this is the first time that we've been this high in over a year. So switching over to our liquidity analysis brought to you by highblockcapital.com. Link for them is in the description below for more information. We're still tightly ranging here. I currently popped off a small long this morning with one ladder down inside of this liquidity pool here in hopes of getting filled on some volatility. And my stop is actually in this gap here below 27.5. If we take a look at the individualized levels on Binance, you can see the liquidity on both sides of our immediate price action is actually really thin. So if I end up not getting my other bid filled today, I'll likely just cut it for a small loss in hopes of repositioning tomorrow. But personally, this looks like the kind of situation where we'll dip down, snag some liquidity, causing bears to FOMO in, which would in turn then provide liquidity for us to be bouncing back up. So that's kind of the trade plan that I have. It's mostly just based around where the liquidity is laying right now, since we're in such a tightly constrained range on the higher time frame. So just kind of making liquidity plays. That's it for today, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on those notifications as I stream every Friday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Central. So be sure to follow at VenomAlgo on Twitter for updates on my algos, as well as more trading tips and more education. And until next time, happy trading.